get me up there?
Yes.
This is Bill Robinson from KPRZ News, reporting live from the Osaki Hotel, where a man has perched himself on the roof and is threatening to jump.
Uncle Roy, you've only rearranged this 5 times.
Yeah, I know. I guess I'm a little nervous.
Well, don't be. It's going to be perfect.
You know, every year since Will was reported missing in action in Vietnam, his mother used to bake a cake on his birthday. And then Flo and I would have dinner alone, and we'd bring out the cake and light the candles and make a wish. The wish I'm making right now is that Flo could be here with us.
Cake's here. As I remember, Will was always a sucker for frosting.
When he was a little kid.
Yeah, well, one thing you never lose is a sweet tooth.
All I know is I can't wait to see the look on my boy's face when he sees all this.
Houston, phone.
This one. Houston.
This is Lieutenant Zach Manson, Police Department. I'm at the Osaki Hotel. Got a man sitting on the edge of the roof here threatening to jump.
Well, I don't quite understand, Lieutenant. Well, why are you calling me?
He says he's your cousin Will. Will Houston. The only 2 people he's agreed to talk to are you and a lawyer named C.J. Parsons, but nobody else, especially his father. Is that your cousin out there, Mr. Houston?
Can't believe it.
Sure knew what he was doing when he picked this building.
What do you mean?
Hook and Ladder has a 8-story reach. Anything above 4 floors, you can forget about catching him in a net. Right now, we're standing on floor 37.
So what you are telling me is that the only way my cousin's going to get down off this roof is if we talk him down.
Or he jumps.
Do you know why he would do something like this?
Yes, I do. He spent 12 years in a prison camp inside of Cambodia, and he was just rescued 3 months ago. CJ, get a hold of the VA. They've got psychiatrists who specialize in this kind of thing.
I'll get the best they have as soon as I can.
How's it going, cuz?
Don't come any closer.
Well, what the hell are you doing up here?
Please. Don't tell Dad. Sounds like we're kids again, and I just bent the fender on his Buick, huh? I don't think I can take him seeing me like this, Matt.
I won't tell him.
All those years, locked up and caged like an animal, bent over and shackled. Only thing that kept me going was thought of coming home. But home isn't home anymore, Matt.
Well, I know what you've had to go through to adjust, but you've got people that you can lean on here, people that want to help you.
I'm 35 years old today. Some happy birthday, huh? What have I got to show for it? No wife, no kids, no... nothing.
Talking about your girlfriend, Mary?
She went away. She's not coming back.
Hello, Will. The VA is on the way.
Look, Will, jumping off this building is not going to bring Mary back.
No. But it'll put an end to my hoping that she will.
Will, there must be some kind of a misunderstanding.
People who leave letters saying, I'm not coming back, and don't bother trying to find me, make themselves very clear.
Let me try and find her.
She doesn't want to be found.
Well, look, I found you in the jungles of Cambodia. How hard can this be, Will? Let me give it a shot. Let me find her. Look, you two can sit down face to face, talk it out, find out what happened here. Where does she live?
On a houseboat. In the marina, someplace. I don't know. She always insisted we meet at my place.
Well, you gotta promise me something.
Don't ask me to come in off this ledge, Matt. I can't be with the rest of the world.
Just promise me that you're gonna be here when I get back, all right?
No deals.
I want you to stay put. He's in no mood to be pressured right now, but you keep him talking. We might find out some more about Mary.
It would be a lot easier if we'd met her.
Beginning to wonder why we never did. Uncle Roy, how'd you find out?
When you and CJ hightailed it out of the party, it didn't take a brain surgeon to figure out something was wrong. My son is getting ready to jump off the roof, and they won't let me talk to him.
No, sir, you can't go down
You
there.
can't talk to him right now. Will is all mixed up inside and hurting.
I'm hurting too, and I'm going to talk to my boy.
No, you are not. Don't you understand? He doesn't want you to see him like this. I mean, you go out there right now, and he may jump.
How many more payments do I have to make on my son, Matlock, before I get him back?
I don't know. Just listen to me. Look, if you really want to help him, let's go talk to his girlfriend, because right now it seems like she may be the only one that's going to talk him down off the roof.
Where do we start?
By trying to find her. Come on.
Hey, Chris, it's Houston. Now, I need an address. Trace this number, 555-7566.
Look, when you get it, please, give me a call on the mobile phone. Thank you.
You sound like you came up with something.
No, this is one of those automatic phones. It dials up automatically numbers that are frequently used. Look, it's got your number, my number, and Mary's. When I tried it, there's no answer.
I found this in the bedroom. It's a bank book for a joint account named Will Houston, Mary Atkins. There is 12 years of back pay in that account. There is a bank statement of Will was over here with some unopened mail.
Mary Atkins closed out the account.
She conned Will out of every last cent.
The question is, does Will know that he's been suckered?
If he didn't know, he'd have jumped already. She must be one hell of an actress.
I hope so. Because if we find her, she's going to have to give the best performance of her life to get Will down off that roof.
Not if. When?
Mary's got a little boy, Johnny. Cutest little 6-year-old you ever met. His dad was killed a couple of years ago in a plane crash. It's like an instant family for me.
Sounds like you love them both very much.
Mary and her little boy were my world, CJ.
You're part of our world, Will. That's why you have to hold on. For Houston and me, as well as Mary and her little boy. But especially for Roy.
What do you know about that guy up on the roof?
Don't know anything about him at all.
Photographer? Yeah, Tattletale magazine. Here we go. I bet this guy knows something. Yeah.
Dr. Dyer, VA Hospital.
Hey, is that guy up on the roof a vet? Oh, come on, Tattletale Magazine, give me a break, buddy. Hey!
Chris traced Will's girlfriend's telephone number to the Harbor Marina, berth 507.
It's gotta be it, just up ahead.
You boys shouldn't have gone in there. That boat's off limits.
According to whom?
According to me. And my friends, Gramps. Now, why don't you and Pretty Boy explain what the hell you're doing?
Well, why don't you first tell me who he or she is that's so scared it needs a goofy-looking bunch like you to protect them?
Boy, you could have been a little more diplomatic.
Oh, don't shoot, man, please. The houseboat belongs to a guy that hangs out at a bar on the other side of the marina, the dry dock.
What's the guy's name?
Fiskus. Joe Fiskus.
Come on, get out of here.
Let's drop by the dry dock. I'm buying.
Houston, get back here as fast as you can. He's been drinking and he's talking about jumping again. And I think he might do it. Dr. Dyer from the VA thinks that you're the only one who can stop him. Hurry, Houston.
Now, look, just promise me you won't do anything on your own.
But I ought to go up there with you.
We have been through that before. You know what might happen if Will sees you up there. Now, just promise me.
All right, I'll wait at the office.
Thank you.
We're going to the marina. Bar called the Dry Dock.
He's drunk and scaring the hell out of me.
I can't get no satisfaction.
Let me try and talk to him.
Can't get no satisfaction.
Will! How you feeling, buddy?
Well, not thirsty anymore. Not much left anyway. Not much anything left. Anymore.
I've seen this case before, you know. The VA. It's not unlike the post-traumatic stress disorder that they found among Vietnam veterans and prisoners of war.
Thinking about Mary's little boy. He needs an operation, you see. I offered to pay for it. Even opened up a joint bank account in both our names. She was too proud to even touch it. Now I don't know where either one of them is anymore. It's getting cold up here.
Take my jacket, Will. No, really. Take it. Please. Here.
Hell. Maybe it's better if I do jump.
Oh, don't say that. What's the boy gonna do if you jump? He's already lost one father.
Oh, shit. His mother will find somebody else. She probably already has.
Nobody better than you, Will.
Pat, would you stay with me? Just for a little while?
As long as you want.
What'll it be?
Information. I'm looking for Joe Fiskus.
Hey, Fiskus, someone's looking for you.
She cute? It's about my boy, Will Houston.
Not real smart. Coming down here without Pretty Boy and his 45.
I thought we put you in your place once today, son.
Yeah? Well, the way I see it, you and I got a little unfinished business. And I'm gonna enjoy it.
So am I. Next time I'll aim a little higher.
You're too old to be a cop. You're the one Fiskus conned?
No, he conned my son.
The non-vet on the roof? I've been watching him. The reason I came back from Nam, only half crazy, is because I wasn't any good before I went in. It's guys like your kid that it really ate alive. I bet he volunteered. Thought it was all a big John Wayne movie.
Yeah, he had a bunch of ideas like duty, country, honor.
Well, you go and tell your boy that John Wayne is dead.
He sure the hell is.
You remember that summer that we spent out in Colorado? Had all the fresh air we could breathe, all the fresh fish we could eat.
Yeah. That's why I bought the place up at Big Bear when I got back. 12 years in the cage. Makes you yearn for the wide open spaces.
At least you don't have to worry about your daddy catching us smoking cigarettes behind the garage anymore. Remember, I got the lecture of my life.
Yeah. I got the licking. What's the matter?
Just take it easy.
What's wrong? What does she want?
Roy's inside. He thinks he's found a lead on Mary.
I said, what does she want?
Damn it, will you just relax, Will? Look, I'm telling you, if I'm gonna find Mary, I've got to get out of here for a little while. Take it easy. CJ's gonna stay with you.
How is he?
Well, he's all right for now. He's gonna be all right.
I got the license plate on that fella that hired us 5 guys down at the dock. Chris is checking it out.
How'd you get his number?
I went to that bar.
Well, you promised me that you'd stay put.
I know, but I have my fingers crossed.
We're here on the 21st floor of the hotel, and looking out at the opposite tower, we can see the man still poised on the ledge. My question, and the question on the minds of everyone who's been watching this human tragedy, is why? What causes a man to climb the heights of a modern skyscraper and contemplate jumping off?
Hey, I told you not to watch this stuff. The guy's a loser. This is depressing. You can't do anything about it now anyway.
No. I'm just the one who strung him along and ripped him off.
Why don't you get Johnny's stuff packed and we get out of here?
Can I trust you not to surprise me this time?
I'm sounding like my uncle. Walk in the rear.
Okay, that's it. If you get Johnny set up front, we're on the road. Holly, get in and drive. Hey! Come on, move! Move! Drive!
Look out!
Go! Go!
Don't worry about them. I'll get them after I get you to a hospital. Easy.
Ain't that a shame?
Hey, sportsman. Huh? How you doing? Yeah, pass.
Will, I've got black coffee. Have some.
I got something better.
Well?
I hope he doesn't have another bottle of that 100-proof courage in that sack. If he gets any drunker, he may fall off.
Huh?
Oh, great. This is all we need. Doctor, get away from that window.
Dr. Smith, call your office.
Your uncle is a lucky man, Mr. Houston.
I know. The man who shot him hadn't been using birdshot. There wouldn't be a leg left of men.
All the same, I have ordered him to stay here overnight.
Thank you, Doctor.
I hope that was good news about Roy.
That was. Any word on the man who shot him?
I've already issued out an APB on him, Joseph Fiscus. Con artist from way back. Always works with women. Uses her to bait hooks.
I know the type. Usually need money for a noble cause, like an operation or something.
Current accomplice is a Holly Talbot, age 26. Been in and out of trouble since she was 14. She and Fiscus been together now for a year.
Mr. Houston,
Yes.
there's a call for you from a C.J. Parsons.
Man has
Houston, Chris told me where to find you. How is Uncle Roy?
Oh, very lucky. How's his son?
It's not good, Houston. He's got a gun.
What?
Apparently, the police are going to try to rush him.
Right away.
CJ, they can't do that. If they rush him, he's as good as dead. Stall him, do anything. I'll get there as fast as I can.
A startling new development. We've just been told that the man on the ledge of the 37th floor has a gun. Whether he plans to use the gun on himself or others is not known at this time, but the police department has been forced to reevaluate their strategy. The consensus is that they are planning some bold action to bring this two-day-old drama to an end. I repeat, this just in, the man on the ledge of the Osaki Hotel has a gun. and apparently the police department is planning some kind of bold action to close this drama.
Good. I was getting tired of listening to that.
I want to quit.
Fix me a drink, will you?
You didn't hear me. I said I want out.
I don't believe this. You're all shook because one guy is threatening to off himself? What's the difference between this guy and all the other pigeons we plucked?
Because the others didn't try and kill themselves, Joe. I think Will really cared for me.
Well, of course he cared for you. He wouldn't give you his money if you didn't go for your act.
I'm not so sure it was an act. Will was different from all the others.
I want you to keep this entire area clear. Now, we've waited long enough, Miss Parsons.
Manson, if you rush this young man, you're going to kill him.
Yeah, well, better him than somebody else.
Oh, that's a pretty cavalier attitude, Lieutenant.
TJ is right. If you rush him, he will jump. That's the same thing as murder.
That man has a gun.
Yeah, well, he won't use it.
You don't know that.
Does anyone care what I think? Now, if anyone can get that gun away from him, Mr. Houston can.
What?
We'll trust him. He believes in him.
You don't have the authority to decide that.
I have the authority, Manson. I take full responsibility. I can make it official with one phone call to headquarters.
It's your career.
Thank you, officer. Houston, they found that camper belonging to Fiscus, abandoned on Highway 18.
CJ, Highway 18, that's near Big Bear.
I think so. Why?
That's where Will's cabin is.
It's a nice gun.
Not really.
Want to give it to me?
No? Did you find her?
Maybe. Mary knows where your place up at Big Bear is, doesn't she?
I used to take her and Johnny up there almost every weekend. Think that's where she is?
Well, I need more time to try and find her and bring her back here.
What are you waiting for?
The gun, Will.
I don't even know why I brought it up here. I remember the first time they issued me one of these in basic training. It scared me to death. Funny how you get used to things.
Stay here.
Move!
Who are you? What do you want?
Understand that you are a friend of my cousin, Will Houston.
I never meant for anything like this to happen.
Good, because you're coming back to Los Angeles with me. We're gonna drop Johnny and your friend down there off with the police for safekeeping, and then you and I are going up on that roof, and we're gonna talk to Will.
Are you crazy? I'm not going back there.
If he jumps, you pushed him, lady. You gonna be able to live with that?
What am I gonna say?
Whatever it takes to get him off that roof.
I thought the doctor told you to stay in bed.
I couldn't stay away. That's my son out there.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to go this far.
That doesn't matter. All that matters now is that it doesn't go any further.
What if he doesn't believe me and...
Well, you just think of him as a new mark, huh? With a 5-figure bank account that needs clearing out.
Oh, thanks. I wasn't feeling quite low enough.
No, you listen to me, lady. I grew up with Will. I've known him all my life, and I love him very much. I don't know if that word means anything to you or not, but I sure hope it does. Because you're it. Whether he lives or dies depends solely on what you do and say out there on that roof. Now, let's go.
Thank God you made it.
Now comes the hard part. Now, you know what to say. Tell him you still love him very much. You're sorry as hell for running off the way that you did, but you're very confused.
But I've straightened things out and everything's gonna be okay. Because I really love you, Will. Don't worry. I'm great with suckers. Hi.
Hi. How's Johnny?
He's fine. I think he misses you. Will, I'm sorry for leaving the way that I did. I was sort of mixed up and I needed to get away and think.
You don't have anything to apologize for, Mary? This whole thing, it's my fault.
But everything's gonna be okay. Because I've straightened things out and Why do you have to keep looking at me like that?
Because I love you?
Well, Mary's dead. There never was a Mary. My name is Holly. I make my living out of cheating guys like you out of their money.
I don't believe that.
Yes! What's it gonna take? A ton of bricks falling on your head? Will, it's the truth!
Matt? Is it?
Yes, it is. Never was a Mary, Will.
You mean... was never anything happening between us? All that was strictly business?
Not that it matters anymore. But just for the record, I think you're the only man I could have ever loved.
I was hoping this would be a lot easier, Will. But now you know. Now you know what the score is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, brought you in living color. Just a scam.
No! Not a scam.
Dad.
They told me if I came up here, you'd jump. If you do, I'm coming right after you.
Dad. I let you down.
Never in a million years. Let's go home, son.
Dad, I...
Please, Will. Just give it a chance, huh? Give us a chance. It's gonna be pretty damn lonely around here if you and your dad jump.
Disappointing a lot of people down there if I don't jump.
Please, Will.
Not as good as the jump, but the reunion angle will at least make page 3.
Oh, you'll love it.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Come on, give me a break.
Send me a bill.
Hey, officer, I'm from Tattletale magazine.
Officer, hey, listen, my car's in the back. Look, listen, hey.
Let's go home. Come on. All right.
Yeah, Holly and Johnny are back home in Tucson with her mom. She sounded good, though. Happy, hopeful.
Well, since you're going to Santa Fe, Tucson is not too much out of the way in case you wanted to stop by and say hello.
Well, I happen to be way ahead of you, Dad.
Look, I don't get you. I mean, your son is going away for who knows how long, and you're treating it as though he's going away for a day of fishing. I mean, you waited 12 years for him to get home.
Well, home, Matlock, is not a place on the map. State of mind.
This is true. You take care of yourself, Will.
Oh, I will. But only if you promise to keep my dear cousin in line. Take care.
Don't even know where you're going, do you?
Sometimes it's better that way. You sure you don't mind my leaving?
Not as long as you come back.
I'll be back.
Please, let me in. Lady.
Jim Saunders. I want to make a long-distance call collect to Los Angeles. Houston Investigations. I don't know the number. Miss C.J. Parsons.
Tuesday, this is the best suntan lotion in the world.
My boyfriend says these salmon eggs will catch anything that swims.
This insect spray is guaranteed to give the bugs malaria.
Well, thanks, you two, but this is just a one-week vacation. I'm not going on a 6-month expedition down the Amazon.
I have here a Mississippi night crawler, considered ambrosia by our pescatorian friends. You little rascal, stay there.
Right. Yeah, my hands are full, Uncle Roy.
Well, don't worry. I put 50 of these in the trunk of your car. They thrive in the dark.
That's good. Thank you. I'll see you all in a week. And look, if something important comes up, you...
Houston, forget it. You have canceled this trip 4 times. Nothing's going to come up. If it does, we'll handle it. Bye.
CJ, it's a collect call from a Jim Saunders. He says it's an emergency.
I'll take it. Jim, hello. What is it?
Oh, CJ, thank God you're there. I'm in Bancroft. Julia wanted me to come up here and take care of a couple of things, but...
Check what things out? Hello? Jim, hello?
That's my car!
Everything all right?
No. I just got a phone call from Jim Saunders. He works for my very dearest friend, a girl named Julia Martin. It sounds like he's in some kind of trouble, Roy.
I'll try and stop Houston.
No. Matt's on his vacation. If CJ's friend needs help, he's got it. And you're looking at it.
Thanks, Roy.
Where do we start?
Well, first of all, we place a phone call to Julia Martin to find out what this is all about.
Where can I find her?
Good question. She's a bit of a globe hopper. She has offices all through Europe. Why don't you try calling the London office first, Chris? And you and I are going to take a little trip to Bancroft, California.
Wanted him alive, you idiot!
Oliver, the man's car went out of control and it blew up. Now, what was I supposed to do?
What about the bank records he stole from me?
They went up in smoke along with him.
Well, congratulations, gentlemen.
We just graduated from embezzlement to murder. We might as well just cash in our chips and disappear.
Why? We're the only ones that know Saunders is dead. If anybody finds him, they'll think it was an accident.
Sheriff's right, Mr. Bancroft. You convinced all the folks in town that Saunders worked for a rival oil company.
And that company was planning to slant drill in our fields, pump all the oil out, and cheat everybody here in Bancroft out of that oil money that you promised them, and that's what we tell them.
Well, we can't hide the truth forever. I mean, once Saunders doesn't report back to Julia, she's going to send in others to investigate. They're bound to find out that we've been borrowing her money to drill for oil, right?
Yeah.
How much money's left in Julia's account?
400,000, give or take.
I think I know exactly how to handle this situation.
We'll be in Santa Barbara in about 15 minutes.
Did Chris arrange for a rental car?
Yes, but she warned me it's no limousine.
Grell. Take Saunders' car up to that old shack behind the landfill. Stash it in there. And hey, get out of uniform. Okay?
So it was Julia's grandfather who founded Bancroft.
Yes, he was an oil wildcatter. Spent his last $100 to buy a field they said wouldn't even yield water. He pumped 50 million barrels of oil before it finally played out.
Then Julia was born here?
Yes, but when she was 1 year old, she and her family moved to Texas. She was my neighbor for 15 years.
Why would Julia want Jim Saunders to go to Bancroft if she's been gone so long?
I've been wondering about that since Jim's call. Roy, that was his car. Turn around.
Hang on. You sure that's Jim's car?
I sure am. He's got personalized license plates.
Well, in that case, he won't mind saying hello to an old friend.
That's not Jim, but it's his car.
Well, let's pull him over and find out what's going on. CJ!
I can't stand it. Open it.
I can't.
Not ever? Julie, it's too thin. I have the feeling it's a rejection, and if it is, I don't know what I'm gonna do. CJ, if I can get in, you can get in. Look, if I don't make it into Harvard Law School, do you still want me to be your law partner? Hey, come on, what kind of silly question is that? Of course I will. But first, we are going to open this. You're in. I'm in. I'm in. You're in. I made it.
CJ. CJ. Are you all right?
How long have I been out?
No more than a minute. We hit pretty hard. Are you sure you're all right?
What about Jim's car?
It's gone.
Roy, something terrible has happened to him.
Well, I think maybe this will get us back to Bancroft. When I get to the sheriff's office, there we'll start to find some answers.
Morning.
Howdy. We are looking for a visitor to your town, young fellow named Jim Saunders.
Tall, early 30s, dark hair.
Aha. Well, now, this Saunders fella, does he drive a spiffy silver sports car?
Yes, he does.
That was parked in front of the hotel yesterday. You might inquire over there.
Have you seen him today?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Do you have some reason for doubting my word?
I'm sorry, but Jim called me yesterday and asked me to meet him here. The conversation was cut short. It sounded like he was in some kind of trouble.
Trouble?
And a few minutes ago, some stranger driving Jim's car ran us off the road.
Huh. Well, it does sound like you have cause for concern, and I'll look into it. But I gotta warn you, I'm only a two-man department, so I can't make any big promises, but I'll ask around.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate anything you can do.
Bancroft, please.
Yeah, they sure are on their way. I'll take care of it. Thanks a lot, Sheriff.
Good day, folks. Welcome to Bancroft. Help you?
Howdy. We're looking for a friend, a young man named Jim Saunders.
Yeah, he checked in yesterday. Checked out a few hours later. Said an emergency came up.
Any idea what the emergency was?
He didn't say. Interest you folks in a couple of rooms?
Yes, I think you can. You're thinking of interrupting Houston's vacation?
I think someone outside of this town ought to know what's going on inside of it, just in case.
In case what, Roy?
Just in case we end up disappearing like Jim Saunders.
Hello.
Hello, Matt. Is that you?
Yeah, none other, Uncle Roy. What's up?
Well, I feel guilty cutting into your valuable fishing time, but there's something I think you ought to be aware of.
Well, why don't you give me a minute to shoo all the love-starved females out of my cabin? We'll have a nice long chat.
I did what you told me to do on the phone. Put them in rooms 22 and 23.
And you remembered to disconnect the phone.
I tell you what, Uncle Roy, it sounds to me like... Hello?
Hello, Matt? I think we just wore out our welcome.
My name is Moonshine Moody. I understand that you folks are looking for Mr. Saunders.
You know where he is? Come on, follow me.
I'd like to know just why you folks are looking for Mr. Saunders.
He's a friend of mine. He asked me to meet him here. My name is C.J. Parsons.
No one in town seems to know what happened to him.
I do. I'll take it to him.
What's the word on Julia Martin, Chris?
I haven't been able to locate her anywhere, Houston. I tried all her offices. London, Paris, Rome. You name it, I phoned it.
But keep trying and keep in touch. I'll check in from Bancroft if I haven't heard from him.
Your friend's in here.
Jim?
I did my best to help him. All busted up inside from the crash. I'm sorry, miss. Real sorry. But the sheriff's the one who did it. They're all involved, every one of them.
Involved in what?
Before your friend died, he gave me these. They've been drilling for oil. Shucks, ain't been no oil here in 50 years. But Oliver Bancroft won't admit it.
According to these documents, Julia sent $3 million to build a children's medical research center, the money to be held in trust by Oliver Bancroft until additional funds are raised and plans drafted.
Oliver Bancroft is Julia's cousin.
He's also an embezzler. According to these bank records, he diverted $2.5 million from the building fund into oil drilling.
The folks here love Bancroft and want desperately to save the town. But Oliver Bancroft convinced them that drilling for oil's the only way. So they do whatever he says.
How come you don't?
I did. Until your friend told me what was really going on, and I couldn't stand by and see Mr. Bancroft steal Julia blind.
Why would Julia want to build a children's research center in Bancroft?
Julia was born here. All of her wealth came from this town. And she was the type of lady that wanted to give something back. Wonderful lady, just like her father.
There's another reason. Julia? Everybody downstairs is waiting for you.
Hey, we made it, didn't we? 4 years of college and 3 years of law.
And we're just getting started. Julia, what's wrong?
I'm gonna have to give you a rain check on that legal crusade, partner. The doctors finally found out why I'm feeling so tired. And it seems I've got myself a slightly terminal blood disease. I wanted very badly to leave my mark, CJ. I wanted very bad to leave something important behind.
And you will. I know you will.
Julia must have gotten suspicious, sent Jim Saunders to check on her research center. Once he got here, he probably tumbled to what Bancroft was really doing.
Mr. Bancroft convinced the whole town that your friend was with a rival oil company out to cheat him. And these people here do anything to protect their little town. That's how come nobody would help Mr. Saunders.
Julia trusted her cousin so completely. When she finds out about it,
it'll probably be too late. because her cousin's leaving town with what's left of Julie's money in the bank the first thing Monday morning. I overheard the sheriff talking about it.
That means we've got to get to Santa Barbara as quickly as possible, round up legitimate authority, and come back and clean house. Sheriff.
Sheriff?
Is there a back door?
There is now.
Wait a minute, I thought he burned up in that station wagon.
Well, if he didn't burn up, those records didn't burn either.
Pulling into Bancroft now, Chris. What have you got?
A telegram from Julia's financial advisor in New York asking CJ to meet Julia and Bancroft today.
I'll pass that along to CJ when I find her.
You don't understand. We've done nothing wrong.
Nothing but murder and grand theft?
Jim Saunders was the thief. He stole some valuable documents from me and tried to get away.
Documents proving that you embezzled millions from your cousin.
I was justified in doing that. To save Bancroft and to make it the boomtown it once was, I spent every penny of my own drilling for oil.
And then you started using Julia's money.
Temporarily. Just long enough to strike oil.
That money was earmarked for a children's research center.
Research center be damned. I mean, the only thing that's going to save this town is oil.
These drilling records and geological surveys conclude that there is no oil.
They're wrong. I mean, they said the same thing to my grandfather 50 years ago, and he brought in gusher after gusher.
Until all the oil was gone.
No. On his deathbed, my grandfather swore to me that he had barely scratched the surface, and he made me promise to keep drilling and put Bancroft back on the map.
So you're going to keep your promise by running out with all Julie's money?
What do you think your town is going to think when they find out what you've done to them?
I don't want to run away. I've dedicated my life to finding this oil. But people like you and Jim Saunders have left me with no choice. Sheriff locked them up. By Monday morning, we'll be on our way out of this country, and they can say damn well whatever they want.
Lock him up!
Without this, they can't prove a thing. And if they make any more trouble, I'm gonna do whatever's necessary.
Mr. Bank, this just arrived for Saunders.
Julia Martin to arrive Sunday, 5 p.m.
What'll we do?
Well, if necessary, we'll arrange for another accident. What we won't do is let anybody in town know that she's coming.
Afternoon. I'm looking for some visitors. A couple friends of mine, they called me from here yesterday.
An attractive, dark-haired woman and a distinguished-looking older gent?
That's him.
They passed through yesterday.
They didn't stay.
Well, if they did, they would have stayed here. I run the only hotel in town.
They didn't talk to anybody else in town?
No one, except the sheriff.
And you can't miss his office. It's right down the street.
Thank you.
Call the sheriff and tell him to arrange for another boarder.
Where'd you get this?
Follow me.
One hell of a welcome wagon.
That's all right. But your two friends are in jail.
Why?
They know too much, just like Miss Parsons' friend, Jim Saunders.
He in jail, too?
No, he's dead. And we're gonna be dead, too. We don't get out of sight.
Jim Saunders died because he knew too much.
But there's only two of us. They got the whole town. Those are rotten odds.
I'm a sucker for long shots. Come on.
I lost him.
You lost him? How the hell do you lose a grown man in broad daylight in a town this size?
He hasn't gone far. His car's still here.
Well, then go on. Get him before... You lost him, all right. Come on.
Howdy.
Can I help you?
Well, I just stopped by to parole some friends of mine. Come on.
You
on, unlock it. Make it fast. You're spoiling our nephew's vacation.
You have no idea how good it is to see you.
Give me the keys.
We've lost him. He must have doubled back. Turn around. Turn around.
Time for some fancy driving.
Some fancy driving.
Okay. Everything's ready to go.
Good. Julia's plane will be landing in less than an hour. Okay, folks, it's checkout time. I'm afraid the Houstons are about to embark on a little trip.
One way, that is.
As for Miss Parsons, I think it would be pleasant for Julia to see a friendly face when she lands, which will also be the last thing Julia sees.
Tell me something. How are you going to explain the murder of two innocent women?
They'll die, tragically, when Julia's plane is blown to bits in a refueling accident. Come on, make it quick.
They ever happen to teach you how to slip out of handcuffs?
Had a lot of classes in escape techniques. I flunked everyone.
Okay, Sheriff. Get out. Get out the car. Lay down right over there. Very careful. Lay down right over there. Lay down over there. Down. That's it. All right, Sheriff. I want you to lay down there and be uncomfortable because you ain't going nowhere. Stay right there. Don't tell them that my license expired in 1964. Yeah.
Which way to the airstrip?
Right down the road, sir.
Don't mind keeping an eye on the sheriff for me.
Be a pleasure. Be a pleasure.
All set. When the plane lands, it'll pull over here to park. When the front tire touches that cable, she'll blow.
hell is going on around here?
It's a long story.
You must be C.J. Parsons. I'm Julia's financial advisor, Bruce Severs.
Where's Julia?
I'm sorry. She was already dead when I sent you the telegrams asking you to be here.
What happened?
After 10 years in remission, the leukemia returned. She told me that she wanted to be buried here, your birthplace, among her friends, especially you. Before she died, she gave me this. It's a check. The final $3.5 million made out to Bancroft Building Fund. Her last wish was to see her research center completed.
It will be. Guaranteed.
Who's your best friend in the whole world? You. Who's yours? Betty Lou Montgomery. I think we'll always be best friends. Forever and ever.
Hey, what are you smiling about?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Let's go to dinner.
Okay. Smiling about nothing.
When you were a kid, did you have a best friend?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Now I have a better one.
It's a beautiful setting for a wedding, isn't it?
Yeah, Paul always had a weakness for the ocean.
And pretty ladies.
Just following the lead of my best man and best friend. In fact, if it hadn't been for Houston, Bonnie and I never would have met.
Matt used to come and drag Paul out once a month to go sailing. That's where we first ran into each other.
Literally. Bonnie was in a little Hobie cat. I was the Wheeler Houston's boat. And then I saw this beautiful brunette. And I just couldn't take my eyes off of her.
That's right. He steered off course, damn near sunk my boat.
How does it feel to be the catch of the day?
Catch of a lifetime.
Hi, girls. Bonnie?
You're a lucky man, Paul. She's a special lady. I envy you.
Oh, now that's a switch.
What's that supposed to mean?
Houston, I have envied you since day one in college. Rice University's BMOC, class president. You were fighting off more cheerleaders than you were tacklers. Good days.
Best of yet to come, my friend.
I agree.
Good.
Hey, Lois, can I get a copy of that snapshot?
One of each.
When do you leave for Acapulco? Tomorrow. Tonight it's the honeymoon suite at the Majestic Bay Hotel.
And then first thing in the morning, it's up, and away.
I never, ever thought I'd be this happy.
Hey, you better get used to it.
I have a confession to make.
You do. Don't worry about it. I took you for better or worse.
Good. Because I'm a tickle freak.
Oh, well, all's fair in love and war. Oh. Have I told you lately I love you, Mrs. Chapman?
Not in at least 5 minutes, Mr. Chapman.
I love you. Room service. Surprise. Don't you go away.
Still piecing it together. Killer grabbed a waiter, stole his uniform, came in here and knocked out your friend, and, well, you know the rest.
Nothing was taken.
Right, this is not a robbery.
Paul didn't get a look at the killer.
Got hit the moment he opened the door. After that, everything was a blur.
Jump, please.
You said you were his best man at his wedding. Right now, what he needs is a best friend.
I watched it happen. There was nothing I could do. Bonnie kept calling to me for help, and all I could do was watch.
Nothing you could do.
I better go with her. No. I have to.
Oh,
I have to!
You can't go with her, damn it!
She's gone, Paul. She's gone.
What am I supposed to do now? I can't go back to that house without her.
You're gonna come home with me.
We gotta find out who did this, Houston. We have to.
Find him.
All right, since Paul was just knocked out, there was nothing stolen. Now, Bonnie had to be the target all along.
Premeditation.
Yeah, but why? Paul, did Bonnie have any enemies? Everybody loved her. And what about old boyfriends? A crazy one, a jealous one?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Russ Sloan. He was pretty upset when Bonnie broke things off with him. My God, that's it. Matt, he could be the one.
You sure you're not reaching?
No, look, he kept phoning her. He was threatening her. He was pleading with her. He even took to following us around with binoculars.
Well, let's go pay a visit to this Russ Sloan fella. Come on. Russ Sloan?
What do you want? Bonnie's dead.
I know it. Look, my name's Matt Houston. I'm a private investigator. Paul's asked me to look into Bonnie's death.
So why are you talking to me?
Could we go inside and talk for a minute?
Did he tell you I killed her? Where were you last night, Sloan?
I'll handle this, Paul.
Hey, you got a hell of a nerve coming over here accusing me of murdering Bonnie. I loved her so much.
I just want to talk to you for a
Hey, I was out to dinner when she was killed. I got a restaurant full of witnesses. It says here you were in the room when it happened, that you watched the whole thing. I'll tell you something, pal. If it had been me married to her, I sure as hell would have been man enough to protect her.
I can see by the look on your face, the ex-boyfriend lead turned out to be a dud.
Hell, I won't know for sure till I check out his alibi. What'd you come up with?
Police forensics came up with one single stray fingerprint, too smudged to be categorized.
Houston, we've been going through the guest list at the wedding. To be honest with you, we don't know what we're looking for.
Paul is on the razor's edge.
He's a grown man, Matlock. He can take care of himself.
Well, I'm not so sure. He loved Bonnie with every ounce of strength he had.
Commend our brother and sister to the Lord. And the Lord receive him and her into his peace. Raise up his body and hers on the last day. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. In sure and certain hope of the resurrection and to eternal life. Amen.
could have prevented this.
Had no way of knowing, Houston.
Paul was my best friend. College, we were always around to give each other a helping hand. Now he's gone. CJ, you shouldn't have done it. It's not right. Suicide is not an answer.
Houston, he was confused. He didn't know where to turn.
He needed my help.
You did everything you could.
It's not good enough. It's just not good enough. See, there's somebody out there now that's killed 2 people with 1 blow.
I thought you'd be interested in this.
Who was she?
Mary Ann Klein, actually make that Crawford. She was married 6 hours ago.
A serial killer?
That's what it looks like. Just claimed his 2nd victim.
His 3rd victim, Hoyt.
I heard about Paul's suicide. I'm sorry.
Look, we have got to stop this man before he kills again.
We're doing everything possible. We haven't got a single clue.
Well, look, don't serial killers usually use some kind of a pattern?
Don't you think I know that? And we're looking for that pattern. Look, Houston, this killer could strike again tomorrow and disappear for 2 years. He or she could be in another part of the country by now.
Could also be stalking his next victim right underneath our noses.
That's right. Hopefully, forensics will come up with something this time. Until then, all we can do is wait. Houston! I don't suppose I could talk you into leaving this to us.
With my best friend and his bride dead?
Well, just be patient, old buddy.
I can't be patient.
Hello? Nora, who is it?
Curtain time in 30 minutes, dear. You better get started.
To Nora with love, no signature.
Someone you haven't told me about? Skeletons in the closet? Maybe we should call the wedding off.
And take back all those presents? You gotta be kidding. It is just lovely. I absolutely adore it. Thank you. so much for everything, Mrs. Saboroff.
Nora?
Stay away from me.
Wait, Nora, you don't understand. Look, you got the rose, didn't you? I mean, listen, I know that you're getting married, and, well, I just don't think you should.
I'd say you are the last person who has the right to say that.
Nora, you can't get married. I love you.
That's ridiculous. We haven't seen each other in years, and we both know the reason why.
I'm just asking you not to do it.
There is something you have got to understand. I am getting married on Saturday, and there is nothing you can do about it.
Still at it, I see.
Yes, and realizing that Hoyt was right. There's not enough here to establish a pattern.
One thing is for certain, the killer does his homework. See, he always seems to know all the details about the victims' weddings, even right down to the fact that he knows where they're going to spend their wedding night.
So we're trying to find out how he knows.
Baby's putting together a list right now of all the merchants and vendors that serviced both weddings.
The caterers, the musicians, the people who make the place cards, the whole works.
And if one of those services was used for both weddings...
It means that one of their employers could be our killer.
Bingo. This is the only one that serviced both weddings.
Parkdale Floors.
This is a very small business here. I haven't had any regular help for years.
But you did supply flowers to both those weddings.
Yes.
Well, it just seems like a coincidence that both parties decided to use you.
Well, actually, I was the one who contacted them. As I said, this is a small business here, and I have to drum up as much as possible myself.
How do you know these people are getting married?
I subscribe to a clipping service. You see, they collect all sorts of news items to sell to various merchants. Me, I'm interested in weddings. And this clipping service lists every single one of them.
What clipping service do you use?
Mackenzie's clipping service.
Can you tell me where I'd find a supervisor? Excuse me, Nick. My name's Matt Houston. I'm a private investigator. I wondered if you could point me in the direction of the person who does all the wedding announcement clipping.
Oh, we all clip everything. We're just assigned to different papers. However, most everybody's gone home for the day. We'd like to come back tomorrow and talk to my staff.
Thank you.
Glad he's all right. Tell me, did you get a look at the assailant?
Nope.
Any idea who might be trying to kill Houston this week?
Maybe.
Do you people care if anyone tries to kill Houston?
Nope. Matter of fact, I'm thrilled.
Are you out of your mind?
No, I'm just getting very close to the honeymoon killer. He's the one that attacked me.
But you can't be sure of that.
Look, Hoyt, I tracked the killer to a downtown clipping service. Now, no one followed me there, but somebody tried to kill me on the way out. I was getting too close. Honeymoon killer works at the McKinsey clipping service.
Okay, Houston. Sounds like you got enough to get a search warrant. It'll probably take me till morning. I'll call you when I get it.
Thank you, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Give you a ride home?
No. Just give me a ride back downtown to the McKinsey clipping service. Hoyt may be able to wait till tomorrow, but I can't.
There is a trick in opening this kind of a door.
I know. I just gotta get a little bit to the left, and that ought to do it.
If you would allow me, we used to teach this trick in the company in special classes. But I think it was my old rival Karpov who perfected the technique. Of course, we usually prefer to use a silencer. What are you doing?
Paying for the Karpov technique.
Oh. So, what we need is a complete list of all the employees, and the supervisor probably has that. Find something?
Think I found our killer.
Perry Brandon. Clipping of Bonnie's wedding announcement, the second victim's wedding announcement. And here's one taking place tomorrow at the Queen of Angels Church. Our killer's next victim, it would seem.
Seems like he's been doing his homework.
Well, maybe it's time we asked him about that.
So where do we find him?
What are you waiting for?
See if you can tell me that there's a special trick to opening this lock.
Nope, not me. However, Peerless Eddie Pierpoint, the lock-picking specialist at the company, had a technique. Always make sure the door is locked first. I don't care for his decorator.
Says you broke into his apartment, started rummaging through his things. He tried to stop you, and you beat him up. Don't worry, I don't believe him.
So, you just gonna let him go?
Because I have no choice. Everything we've got on him is illegally obtained evidence. Now, why didn't you wait until I got the search warrant this morning?
Because I didn't want somebody else to get killed in the meantime, Hoyt. Now, I'm telling you, he is our killer.
You're probably right. His records show that he underwent psychiatric treatment in college. His girlfriend broke up with him, and he beat her half to death. But if we book that man now, they'll throw the whole case out.
So what do you want us to do? Just wait until he kills the girl we saw in the clipping we found?
No. We put a tail on him. We put a unit 24 hours at his apartment, and I'll be at that Queen of Angels church in the morning at the wedding. Houston, look, you've done a hell of a job on this one. But we will carry it from here on in.
Something bothering you, isn't it, boy?
Yes, it is. It's all too simple. It's just gone too easy. I mean, the closer we got to Brandon, the easier it got. It's almost as if he wanted us to find him.
Wonder why?
Let's ask the psychiatrist.
We psychiatrists aren't supposed to give out information like that.
Let me guess. Now is when you start quoting from your book of ethics on patient's confidentiality.
I have no other choice. Besides, I haven't treated him in over 10 years.
Well, suppose I tell you that your former patient, Perry Brandon, has killed 2 women.
What? You mean he actually went through with it? Murder?
You knew in advance?
Oh, no, I mean... Well, he talked about doing it, but I didn't believe him. I can remember he sat in my office and he ranted and raved about this girl who rejected a proposal of marriage. A girl that he'd spotted in one of his college classes. You know, Brandon was a shy type. He kind of admired her from afar. He started sending her flowers and letters from a secret admirer. And then one day, he shows up on her doorstep with 2 tickets to Las Vegas and tells her they're going to be married that night. And remember, this girl had never spoken one word to him.
Of course, you said no.
The rejection sent Brandon into a rage. He slapped her around. I remember he slapped her around quite a bit. That's when his parents insisted that he come and see me.
This girl, what's her name?
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I've told you too much already.
Look, Doctor, if you don't give us the girl's name, she's going to die.
Ethically, I can only tell the intended victim, her family, and the police, if I'm convinced that a murder is about to take place. Frankly, you've convinced me that one is.
Well, that's good. That's good. So give us the girl's name, then you can go back into your office and be ethical as hell. Call the police. But just give us the girl's name.
Her name is Nora. Nora Fulton.
How would you like to make $50? I want you to drive around and meet me in the back of the store.
knew it. That's the same girl that Brandon has a picture of in his apartment and office.
What's her marital status?
It's funny you should ask. She's getting married today.
Well, that explains what set him off again.
Why would he want to kill those other girls if all he wanted was Nora?
Don't you see, if he just killed Nora, he would be a prime suspect. Remember, he attacked her in college.
So he killed those other brides so it would look like a serial murder?
That explains the stuff that we found in his office. He was reading up on serial killers. He wanted the police to believe that the killer was somebody who hated all brides, not one in particular.
He made that other announcement to throw us off, which means,
Which means that Hoy's at the wrong wedding.
And we've got about 5 minutes to get to the right one.
And do you, Nora, take Cyrus as thy lawful husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, until death do you part.
I do.
Excuse me, can you tell me the wedding party, where'd they go?
All left. This is one of those short services. I do, you do, we gone.
Where'd they go?
Down to the water, I think. Something about a reception on a boat.
I think a reception was mentioned in the wedding announcement. Yeah, here it is. Surfside Marina, Slip 37.
Let's go. Call CJ, tell her to get a hold of Hoyt. Have him meet us there.
Such romantic.
Absolutely incurable. Oh, I wish we could cancel the reception.
My sentiments, exactly.
It's too late. That'll be the caterers. I'll tell them where to set up.
warn you.
Hold it! Check on the girl. Right.
No, don't shoot me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please.
You know, I've been looking forward to this. But you're just not worth it. You better take this before I change my mind.
Never in your life will you have tasted such wine. Truly the elixir of the gods.
Oh, you've already got me drooling. I just think $1,000 a bottle's a little steep.
And it's worth every drop. But of course, I didn't pay $1,000 for it. It was a gift to me by an overly amorous, deep-cover belly dancer on the Isle of Crete.
Well, I mean, a bottle that valuable, you probably ought to keep it in the safe.
Anybody can get in a safe. That's the reason I put it in here.
Well, did they teach you any classes on how to get into a file safe at the company?
I don't see you being very helpful.
Having a problem, gentlemen? Chris and I were working on some legal stuff, but why are you guys here so late?
We're just trying to get the file cabinet open.
Anytime you need some help, let us know.
Here, come here.
I could find one even vaguely interested. There's hope. I got a note from some guy at the luau last night to meet him here at the Catamaran at 3. Is it 3 yet? Half past. Oh. Well, it looks like the only thing I'm going to be taking home from this vacation is a tan line. Oh.
Didn't you tell me that you have a fiancé in Chicago?
Sure, but a girl's entitled to bring back a souvenir, isn't she?
I see.
Time for a little more basting.
Sun is brutal. I think it's time for the plunge.
Water must be real cold, huh?
Whereby the aggrieved party of the first part does consent to contest a lawful testimony by a peripheral party, part and parcel to. This is gibberish.
Nope, that's legalese.
Well, what's the difference?
Legalese is gibberish, written by lawyers at about $200 an hour.
Houston, CJ's on the phone.
Hey, CJ, how's the vacation?
Well, it was fine until late this afternoon. That's when a guest disappeared into the ocean. I was with her when it happened, Houston.
Accident?
I don't think so. Neither does the owner of the club, Andrew Moffat. He's here with me now. And the Coast Guard is still looking for the body. Houston,
Don't tell me you volunteered our services, right?
I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. First thing in the morning, be soon enough.
See you then. Thanks.
I made a terrible mistake, you see. 3 days ago, another girl died.
Janet Rogers, another guest of the hotel. She was found dead at the base of a sea cliff.
The next morning, I received this note.
I killed Janet Rogers. I can kill whenever and whoever I want. But $1 million in cash under the split palm south end of the beach. Midnight. Tell no one or more will die.
Nice basic extortion.
I thought the note was some sort of a sick joke. You see, Janet Rogers' death looked like a simple accident. And the local surf punks have been harassing all the club owners in the area. Graffiti, smoke bombs.
So you never really took the threat seriously?
No. I never phoned the police. And I never made the payment. I guess I might as well have drowned Beth myself.
Well, you made the mistake of omission, Mr. Moffat, but you're not guilty of murder. Most important thing is that we try and prevent another one. CJ, you better get on the phone to Hoyt.
sending over a forensics team, and he'll be here himself as soon as he can break away.
And we've got to close the club as quickly as possible.
Of course, I don't want to jeopardize anyone else's life. But I don't know where I can raise that kind of money. Mr. Houston, every penny I have is invested in this club.
Worry about the money later. We've got to get the guests safely away from here.
You think there'll be another extortion note?
I'm sure of it. See, once we get the guests away from here, the killer will have no bargaining power. Hopefully he'll move on.
Or kill me.
Mr. Moffat, do you have any idea at all who's behind all of this?
For all I know, it could be one of the guests. That's picture Janet Rogers, the first victim. Oh. And this is a picture of Beth Thompson, the second victim.
You have photos of all the guests at the hotel.
We try to take arrival photos of all our guests. They get a picture as a souvenir, and we use the pictures to keep track of who's who, remember them by name. It gives the hotel a more personal touch.
Okay. We have copies of all guest lists, employee records, businesses who supply us. Roughly anybody who has anything to do with the club is right here.
Terrific. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Houston, I'm going to take all this info back to the office. Uncle Roy and I will put Baby to work on it. The Coast Guard still hasn't recovered a body.
I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
I still don't understand what you're looking for.
I don't know, a foothold. Maybe an employee with a past, a guest with a grudge. Maybe a connection between the two victims is something that might let us know why this is happening and who's doing it.
Suppose it's just someone who figures my club is an easy target for $1 million scam.
We pray that he makes a mistake. I'd like to see the spot where the first victim fell.
All right. Where her body was found on the rocks below, we figured that Janet either fell or was pushed from right about here. It was festival night. Torches on the beach, fireworks exploding over the sea.
How many people have been up here since then?
Oh, any number. It's a very popular spot. People come up here to be by themselves or with someone else for a little romantic privacy.
Now, CJ told me that the second victim, Beth, had received a note telling her to meet somebody on a catamaran. Now, Janet Rogers could have been lured up here the same way.
You're right.
Hold it.
That could be Janet's.
Or the killer's.
It's on vacation. I'm here for less than 24 hours and I have to leave. I'm sorry, Miss Johnson. It's for your own protection.
I'll see if anyone has reported any jewelry missing, and I'll check with the staff, see if they can recognize the earring.
Oh, Mr. Houston, this is for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who gave this to you?
Nobody. I found it here on the reception desk.
Thank you. I know who you are. If you care to discuss it further, be at Lomax Cove 230.
No signature.
Where is this Lomax Cove?
I'll point you in the right direction.
Actually, I thought you were a lot smarter than this.
All right, the game's over, and so's this little extortion plot of yours.
Mine. You're the one who killed Janet Rogers.
Wrong. I'm a private investigator. I've been hired to find out who killed her. Who the hell are you? Joey Martin, private detective.
We're on the same side.
Just a reminder, buses will be leaving for the airport every 15 minutes. Everyone must be checked out of the hotel in the next 2 hours.
Houston, you're just lucky I had the presence of mind not to kill you.
You did try and kill me. I'm just lucky you can't shoot straight.
You're just jealous because I'm a lot farther along in this case than you are.
Wait a minute. You want to know how far along I am on this case? I'll tell you, I'm far enough along that I can book you on suspicion of murder.
Me?
Yeah, you. See, I found your earring up on that cliff where the first victim fell to her death, huh? Huh?
Well, if you were a trifle more observant, Mr. Houston, you would notice that I'm wearing 2 earrings. Unless, of course, you're dumb enough to think that I carry a spare. And if you knew anything about jewelry, you'd know that those are antique. Handmade, very rare. An heirloom. There are only 2 pair in existence. One belongs to me. And the other to my sister.
You mean to tell me that the first victim, Janet Rogers, was your sister?
My one and only.
Sorry.
She was divorced last year.
That explains a different last name.
She never quite got over the divorce. I convinced her that a vacation here might be the best medicine. Last week, Janet called me and told me that she'd met a man she was crazy about. That was the morning before she was killed.
You think this fella lured her up to the cliff, pushed her off?
I'm sure of it. 3 days ago, I buried my sister. I stood by her grave and tried to cry. But I couldn't. Not as long as her killer was free.
I understand. Look, what made you pick me for your #1 suspect?
I worked up a profile on the killer based on my sister's description. You matched it. Tall, handsome, brown eyes, mustache. And your car. Janet said he drove a red convertible.
What if you'd killed me?
I'd have had one less suspect to worry about.
been thinking. I've decided to let you assist me in this case.
Me assist you?
Yeah, well, since we're both working on the same case, it only makes sense that we work together.
I agree, but you can't just come charging into my
Oh,
game
look,
like...
I've already drawn up a profile on the killer, and I've completed several scientific tests.
Scientific tests.
Yes, the foundation for all good detective work. You see, I took impressions of the footprints up on that cliff before you trampled all over them. Our suspect is 6'2", weighs 170, 180 pounds, and his left leg is slightly shorter than his right leg, which forces him to wear corrective shoes. Now, all of that was readily apparent from the spacing and depth of the footprints.
Any distinguishing birthmarks? Plus, don't forget about the dark hair, dark eyes, and mustache, and the red convertible. CJ, Uncle Roy, this is Zoe Martin.
Hi.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you.
She's a private investigator. Her scientific methods nearly got me killed earlier.
Well, maybe so, but she also just described our prime suspect.
Club guest list, there was one man whose name was a phony. This man.
He called himself Tad. Tad Peterson.
Tad Peterson does not exist.
But Frederick John Logan does.
Once we had the phony name, Hoyt was able to track down Logan from the fingerprints on the traveler's checks he used to pay his club bill.
Convicted felon. Extortion is his specialty.
According to Hoyt's sources, he is very professional, very persistent.
But why did he choose my beach club?
Well, it's isolated, rather small, catered to the rich.
That's his M.O., Mr. Moffat. A year ago, he pulled the same number, an exclusive club on Long Island. The result was 3 dead bodies and $2 million ransom.
We are dealing with a very calculating, methodical, and lethal businessman.
So my only sister was a victim picked at random. For business reasons.
It says here that he's got dark hair, dark eyes, mustache, weighs 178 pounds, and wears corrective shoes.
Somehow I don't quite feel like saying I told you so anymore.
Go find him, Zoe.
It looks as though the Coast Guard divers have found something else.
Thank you. I tried to get here earlier, Houston, but I got a gang war in progress, a major drug bust about to go down, and some psychos running around killing hookers. Whoever named this place the City of Angels got a sick sense of humor.
Well, at least we've identified the man behind this one.
Any luck on the all points on Logan?
You know, an APB is hardly sufficient. We need protection for Moffat, a tracer on his telephones, and a rotating staff of at least 3 detectives to patrol the grounds in case Logan decides to make a ransom note drop.
Just what I need. Another private eye. Would you let me handle this, please?
He's just a cop. Don't let him bully you.
Just a cop? He's just trying to help us. Just a cop?
We don't want him getting in our way.
Your way? He is on our side.
Houston, we've got the situation under control.
Hey, hold it! Thank you. Now, if you don't mind, we'll sit down. We'll logically go through this and discuss the next best course of action. All right?
First thing we've got to do is get protection on Moffat. Secondly, tracers on the telephone. Thirdly, I don't know how you can possibly get by with less than 3 guards in this place.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
You should have listened to me, Moffat. You should have paid me off when you had the chance.
Okay, maybe I made one mistake. Tried to make the murders look like accidents so the cops wouldn't get involved. No matter. You're still gonna give me what I want. I really didn't want to have to kill anyone else, but you forced my hand, Moffat, so I've enclosed a picture. Study it carefully, my friend. Very carefully. Because by the end of the night, someone in this picture is going to be dead. Perhaps then we'll talk business.
Track down all the guests in this photograph, put them under some kind of protection.
Most of them are out of state. Some of them have gone to other clubs to finish up their vacations. It could take all night.
Better brew some more coffee, Mr. Moffat.
I call and arrange for extra personnel.
See, Jake, I think it would save a lot of time if you went back to the office, ran all the hotel guest names through Baby, see if we can find out where they can be located now.
Okay, on my way.
He's playing with us, you know.
Yeah, I know that. Worst part is he's winning.
Looks like there are 15 people in this bus, but we may have to have the picture enlarged to see the ones in shadow.
Logan told us to study the picture carefully.
So what's your point?
Maybe we shouldn't be looking for the obvious.
Like instead of one of the guests being Logan's target, could be someone else, like, say, the bus driver?
CJ.
I picked a worthy adversary. You saved the woman's life. Congratulations. But that won't stop me. No, just makes it more interesting. Because you've involved other people, the ante of our little game has gone up. Deliver $2 million to the phone booth in Franklin Park on the corner of Miramar and Maine. 2 p.m. today. Come along. No cops. Please don't make me kill anyone else.
$2 million. I was having trouble raising one. I'm telling you, I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, well, Logan doesn't know that. We've got to go ahead with the drop as though we had the money. Hopefully that'll buy us enough time before he finds out we're bluffing. It's the only shot we have at him.
Big risk, boy.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm gonna make the drop. Hoyt will back me up.
I'll arrange to have you wired.
I think it'd be best if Matt drove Moffat's car.
Houston, I'm going with you.
Now, you know as well as I do that if Logan sees 2 people in that car, he may bolt.
Logan killed my sister. I'm gonna nail this guy.
I know how you feel, but under the circumstances, there's no way...
You can't leave me behind.
Do you always get what you want?
Most always.
All right, I'll talk to Hoyt, see if you can ride in one of the tail cars.
Ride along in one of the tail cars? Forget it.
I told you this is too dangerous.
Forget it. Just forget it.
He's wired. Get the drop-off point covered. A couple of plainclothesmen are there already. I hope they keep their distance. Let's go.
Yeah?
You're not Moffat.
No, but I work for him. He was afraid to meet with you. Now, I am here, I've got the money, and I'm alone.
We'll see. There's a phone in the park on the other side of the hill. Be there in 2 minutes for further instructions, or you're a dead man.
He's suspicious. I've got 2 minutes to get to the other side of the park. He's testing me to make sure that I'm alone. Just be careful. We'll blow the whole setup.
Stop worrying. We'll keep our distance.
But when you're ready to make the drop, give us the location and we'll be there.
Satisfied?
Not until I get the money. But at least I'm certain you aren't being followed. Meet me at the east end of the park where you'll find a closed refreshment stand. 10 minutes.
Well, all right, it worked. He thinks I'm alone. Just don't get too close to me.
Sure, sure. But where's the drop point?
Wants me to meet him in about 10 minutes.
Is that a coincidence?
Keep coming. Hand me the briefcase.
Zoe.
Get away from me, idiot! I'm all right. He's getting away.
Wait a minute.
Oh, nice job, P.I. Bulletproof vest. One of us knows what we're doing.
He outsmarted us, Hoyt, plain and simple.
Simple is the operative word here.
And I suppose letting Logan shoot you is your idea of scientific detective work?
I wore a vest. I had the downside
And
covered.
you almost got your backside blown off.
While Logan got away.
We'll catch him.
No, we won't. You're both off the case. From now on, this is strictly police business.
You can't do that.
satisfied
We've
now?
been here from the
See?
very beginning.
Hello?
Okay, now start the tracer.
Moffat, we had an agreement. You broke it. Nobody ever does that to me and gets away with it.
I'm sorry. I'll do whatever you say this time.
I hope you do. For your sake, because now it's personal. Your guests are safe, but your family isn't. Your beautiful godson in Pasadena, your mother in Ventura, they might be the next target. Or maybe someone else, maybe you.
How do you know about my family?
I'm a smart man, Moffat. Much smarter than you or your friends. Get the money, $2 million. Or someone you love very much is gonna die.
Thank you very much. Could only trace it to section 63. That's as close as they could get.
Let's go, DiMaggio. I'm sorry, Moffat. Logan wasn't on the phone long enough to complete the trace, but we were able to narrow it down to a small area near the port of L.A. Now, I'm going to order every available unit right down there. We'll search door to door if we have to. I want you two to stay out of it. And if you try to pull anything cute, your problem. Let's go, Mother.
You're not going to let him tell you what to do.
I just did, but it doesn't mean I have to listen to him. Are you familiar with the art of scientific detection, Miss Martin? Let's run the last tape Logan sent.
Delivered $2 million to the phone booth in Franklin Park on the corner of Miramar and Maine.
Here.
2 p.m. today.
That whistle in the background. Now, I just heard it when Logan called again.
So?
Well, did you hear the sequence of boat whistles? It's a signal that a ship uses when it approaches a drawbridge. There's only one drawbridge in the port of L.A.
There's his car.
Big place.
I'll take
the front. This is turning out to be a hell of a relationship.
This isn't a relationship. This is a business.
Is it?
Okay, you take the front. Considering our past experience with Mr. Logan, I'd say there's a high degree of probability that he'll choose an alternate avenue of egress.
Is that a scientific deduction?
Women's intuition.
Great.
Hello?
I thought you were dead.
Well, I'm not. But you are.
Zoe!
Drop the gun, Houston. This is between Logan and me. He killed my sister.
Now, look, I know how you feel, but...
I said drop the gun. Now kick it away. Don't come any closer. If you really know how I feel, you'll let me handle this my way.
Look, let's talk about this.
Let's not.
Zoe, you have got him. The 2 murders, the extortion, they're gonna put him away for life. You don't have to kill him.
You sound like Hoyt.
I sound like a professional. This is business, remember?
Is it? Just go get him!
Another order. Mine.
Don't worry, Houston. I'm not gonna shoot him. He's not worth it.
I told you I wasn't going to shoot him.
Here you go.
And I want to thank you for buying dinner tonight, Houston. We sure don't have restaurants like that back home in Seattle. Are the portions always that small?
Well, it's the least I could do. Take my favorite lady detective out to dinner on her last night in town.
Am I really your favorite?
Of course you are. You're the only lady detective I know.
Well, I think we make a great team.
You do.
With my brains and your... Well, I'm sure we could think of something for you to do.
Well, how very thoughtful of you.
Well, I'm always good to my employees.
Your employees.
I thought you might like to join me back in my Seattle office. Matt, there's so much you need to learn about scientific detection. You can't rely on brawn and good looks forever, you know. I know you'd have to start at the bottom, but...
Well, let me tell you what you can do with your bottom, Miss P.I. Martin. I mean, I have had it up to here with you. You're constantly yipping at me, telling what to do. I can't work that way. I tell you what, I've got a good mind to find a wagon, folks, and bend you over my knee. I'm telling you what, I could never do that. I'll tell you what, you're out of here.
Money? What do you want?
There you are. We've been looking all over for you.
My ankle!
I don't know, CJ. Maybe the blue's a little more,
Impressive.
you know, well,
I like the white myself. It's subtle yet elegant.
yeah, well, it's just that, you know, Joanne's an old friend of mine. Her daddy used to own the best clothing store in Houston. And all the years she worked there, she considered me one of her greatest challenges. So I'd like to look, you know.
Impressive.
Yeah.
That accounts for the gentleman's quarterly routine. When is she arriving?
She didn't say on the phone. She just said that she'd flown all night and wanted to see me as soon as possible. Give me that. Joanne, it's great to see you after all these years.
Houston.
I would say the blue was a good pick.
So you stumbled onto this stewardess you fly with,
Bess Jordan.
taking pictures?
Of the murder. It was horrible.
Once you ran, where did you go?
Home. My roommate wasn't there. For a while, I couldn't stop crying. And just as I started to phone the police, Bess called me.
From where?
I don't know. She'd gotten away. Oh, they stabbed Lana. Bess told me to get out of town as fast as I could and to trust no one, not even the police.
Why would you say something like that?
It's like she knew something, some terrible secret. I just grabbed the first plane. Matt, you gotta help me.
First thing that you have to do is go back there and explain to the authorities what you know about this whole thing.
Not alone. Please come with me.
I have a friend on the force in New Orleans. Haven't seen him in years.
About time you had a reunion.
Shall I have Chris book a flight?
My airline has a flight leaving in about an hour.
Good. Oh, CJ, I want you to stay here and mind the store. Now, while Uncle Roy and I get packed, you tell CJ everything you know about this Bess Jordan.
Bess said those men would kill me if I came back, Matt.
Don't you worry. I won't let anything happen to you.
Houston, watch out for the nightlife.
This is a passenger lounge? Looks more like a resort.
Calder Air is to flying what Cartier is to diamonds. The owner's quite a New Orleans booster. In fact, there he is.
Joanne, thank God you're all right. The New Orleans police are looking all over for you.
The police?
You were spotted along with Bess Jordan at the scene of a murder.
They can't find Bess either. Why'd you run to L.A.?
To get help. Philip Calder, this is my friend Matt Houston, and his Uncle Roy. Matt and Roy are private investigators.
I see. That's all well and good, but no offense, gentlemen. The New Orleans police force is second to none. And right now, they've got some pretty serious murders on their hands. Poor Lana.
As a matter of fact, Uncle Roy has a very dear old friend on the force.
Yeah, maybe you know him, Clyde Sinclair?
Sinclair, yeah, a detective, isn't he? Close to retirement?
Close. He's had his farewell speech memorized for the last 10 years.
Well, then, any friend of New Orleans' finest is a friend of mine. Sandy, champagne for these folks. If nothing else, we can celebrate the best damn town in America. Follow me. Mr. Houston, do you have accommodations?
Yes, we're staying at the Gulf Court Hotel.
Oh, good. That's one of our best. If there's anything I can do to help while you're in town, just let me know.
Thank you.
You bet. The King girl just showed, with 2 private eyes.
We still haven't found the other girl yet.
Then we nailed Joanne King. Now, before she identifies you.
Where do we find her?
In the company of one Matt Houston.
Hold it. You're under arrest.
What's the charge?
Impersonating a PI. The Roy Houston I know is out to pasture in Lotus Land, sunning his backside while the rest of us make the country safe for democracy.
Yeah? Well, I heard that the chief of police in New Orleans was thrown in jail for temporary insanity right after he hired some broken-down war horse from Washington who can't find his gun to save himself.
Well, I can find my gun all right. I just can't remember what to do with it.
Clyde Sinclair. I want you to meet my nephew, Matlock Houston.
It's a pleasure, Mr. Sinclair. Uncle Roy's told me an awful lot about you.
Oh, well, in that case, the charge is slander.
And this is my friend, Joanne King.
Yes, indeed. I'm obliged to invite you to the station house for a long chat, young lady.
You know, I've always found those police garrets to be rather cold. Couldn't we have this chat in our room?
You wouldn't be trying to take advantage of the 20 years we spent together in the trenches, would you, Roy?
No, I think he's referring to the excellent brandy we had delivered up to our suite.
Oh, well, come to think of it, police stations give me a chill, too. Wallace R. Dupree, Chief of Operations for the Bayou Bank of Louisiana. Recently arraigned for embezzlement and computer fraud. Charges dropped on a technicality. Now answering to that great parole board in the sky.
I saw them stab that man.
He's the latest in a long line of white-collar criminals to meet their maker in New Orleans.
It's a note pinned to his chest.
It's an order of execution, signed by a group called the Delta Tribunal.
Who are they?
They've taken up where the courts left off, in their opinion. The Delta Tribunal claims to be the sanitation department for the city's executive filth.
Sounds more like a vigilante group to me.
They call themselves anonymous protectors of the innocent people of New Orleans.
Innocent people like Joanne's friend?
We still can't locate your other stewardess friend, Bess Jordan. You know where she is?
No.
All we got's her description. The airline can't locate her file photo.
Joanne, maybe you've got a photo or a snapshot or something.
Yes, I have the picture that was taken at the Dixieland Lounge that night. It's still in my purse, I think.
Could you take a look?
Hopefully that could answer one question, what Bess Jordan looks like.
It's just a drop in the Mississippi, Uncle Roy? I mean, why was she taking photographs of a murder? Where is she now? And who are the people that make up this Delta Tribunal?
If we can just get in touch with Bess Jordan, I have a feeling she'll be able to answer.
Talk to her. What do you mean? Bess called Joanne.
You did what you could, son.
She traveled 1,500 miles to find me. She trusted me.
I looked everywhere for Joanne's photo of Beth. Either she didn't have it, or the killer's got it now.
And all because she walked into an alley looking for a friend.
Please, listen, stand back, all right? Come on, we gotta get... Please stand back, all right?
Sinclair. Oh, boy. Here comes the Strawberries. Sinclair.
Sinclair, what happened here?
Oh, Captain, I'd like you to meet Matt and Roy Houston. These fellows are...
Private investigators. I got your message. They were coming. The question is, why are they here? And why are they involved in official police business? You were supposed to bring that stiff in for questioning.
That stiff was our client, Captain
Conroy.
I talked to Detective Sinclair. He thought it would be all right if I questioned her here in her best interest.
Oh, really? You got any more ideas in her best interest? Now we've got no description. The one witness left who could ID these men is missing. I've got the press on me like a case of the hives. Enjoy our fair city. Read a brochure on your flight back.
Conroy is from an old blue blood family. He's not used to seeing his name in the paper in anything but favorable print. He's taken a lot of heat.
With his personality, I can't imagine why.
Somewhere out there is a girl who can identify Joanne's killer. We're gonna find her before they do.
Matt, I don't think my department's going to cotton to any further involvement on your part.
Look, Clyde, if you have to back away from this one, we can understand.
I look at this boy's eyes, Roy, and I see you 30 years ago in Berlin. What the hell? Won't be the first time I've turned a deaf ear. Yeah? It's the C.J. Parsons.
C.J.
Houston, I talked the airline into telecopying Bess Jordan's personal record. It's not a lot of help. She was only there a couple of months, and prior to that, she seems to have no history.
No history? Where's she live?
Well, until she disappeared, she lived with another stewardess named Vi Charles.
Oh, what about a car?
Well, apparently she owned a red late model Mustang.
I don't suppose the airline can explain what happened to her file picture.
Well, the clerk that I talked to said that it was just torn out of the file.
There is something rotten going on in New Orleans, CJ. I mean, why did Bess warn Joanne not to go to the police? I mean, what's going on here?
I don't have an answer for you, Houston.
Yeah, look, I know. All right. The first thing in the morning, we'll start with a visit to Bess Jordan's roommate. Thanks, CJ.
Houston, I'm sorry about Joanne.
So am I.
Just like old times, huh, Clyde? Hours of boredom, followed by seconds of stark terror. Ever get tired of it? Not for a long time. I came home to retire, and I can't wait.
You're sticking your neck out for us, Clyde. We appreciate it.
Hell, son. Me and your uncle never let a captain type run our lives 30 years ago. Why start now?
Got a couple of minutes?
Gee, I have a flight to catch.
How about 1 minute?
Sure.
Any contact from Bess Jordan?
No, nothing since the last time I spoke with you guys. Can I start changing?
All right.
Thank you.
Was Bess driving her Mustang?
I guess so. She had it that night.
I don't suppose you have a picture of Bess, do you?
No, I tried to find one for the police earlier. You'd think a camera nut would have at least one picture of herself. I mean, Bess took her camera with her everywhere. She was always stopping to buy film, taking pictures of the silliest things. But do you know, in this entire apartment, there's not one picture of her.
You know anybody by the name of Neda Olmeyer?
Oh, you found one of the TV checks. That's Bess's stage name.
Neda Olmeyer?
Yes, she said she used to do a little modeling. Those checks come every now and then from a TV station. You know, I didn't think to mention that before. Maybe someone should go to the TV station and ask about her.
WMDL's near Tulane. Take us 20 minutes.
You can drop me at the nearest cab stand. Where you going? Oh, you two old pros don't need me.
Didn't say we needed you. Let's ask you where you're going.
A camera store. See what's developing. Just a hunch. I'll give you a call. Well, hello there. Some weather we're having. So I was wondering if y'all had some pictures ready for a friend of mine, Bess Jordan.
Nothing for Jordan.
Really? Well, how about Olmeyer?
Netta?
You know her?
Sure, she comes in here all the time. But why are you picking up her pictures?
Well, this is the problem, see. Now, she took some pictures of me also, wanted to put them in her scrapbook, and I didn't want them both to run into each other in here, you know what I mean?
But Netta already called me, and I told her I'd have these for at 4.
At 4. Well, I must have got my wires crossed someplace. Thanks anyway.
Don't you want to take these to her?
No, I'll let her surprise me. Hope she likes them.
Thank you. Go, Houston.
That's Matt. What'd you find out?
Well, Netta Olmeyer works here, all right, but not as a model. She is a freelance reporter fresh out of journalism school.
Is she working on a story now?
Yep. And one guess.
The Delta Tribunal.
Bingo. She went undercover 2 months ago. The TV station hasn't heard from her for a week. They're worried. They don't know where she is.
Yeah, well, I think I'm about to meet her. I'll leave word for you back at the hotel.
Here you go. Thanks.
See you later, Netta.
Excuse me, Miss Holder. Wait a second. Now, look, I don't want to hurt you. I just want to talk to you, please. Now, look, I know all about Bess Jordan. Wait a second. Listen, wait, just hold it! Back over here, Netta. Now you tell me.
You're a cop, aren't you?
I'm a friend of Joanne's, private investigator. Tell me something. Why are you so afraid of the police? Joanne's dead.
I didn't know.
Just like Lana. They're both killed because they were getting too close to you. How many people are going to have to die before you tell someone what you know?
I needed proof. This.
Pictures of the murder?
You want to see those animals without masks? Take a look. Well?
You still haven't explained to me why you haven't gone to the cops.
My ex-boyfriend is a cop. That's how I first learned about the Delta Tribunal and the rumor that someone in the department is a member.
Who?
I don't know yet.
Some hideout.
It belongs to my aunt. She always goes to Europe around Mardi Gras. Can't stand the crowds. Damn it. The camera must have broken when it hit the ground that night.
Which fogged your film?
I had them. A network feed for sure, and I blew it.
Well, these seem to have turned out all right.
Sure, and I can't prove a thing with them.
Who are they?
Members of the Delta Tribunal.
How do you know that?
8 months of political profiling, interviews, tailing, and guesswork. Leonard Carlisle, oil baron.
Paul Delaney, Chamber of Commerce. Eleanor Sims, District Judge. And this one, the High Executioner.
Philip Calder, president of Calder Airlines.
I took the job with Calder Airlines to get closer to him.
That explains how they got a hold of your file photo and how they knew where to find Joanne.
The guerrillas with him are the hit team. Employees named York and Morris.
And the ones that killed Joanne.
Yesterday, I thought I had the pictures to prove it. Today, I've got nothing.
Well, now you know that and I know that. But they don't.
What are you talking about?
Setting a trap. And what if you went to Calder, offered him those pictures for a price?
We've got no pictures.
If he takes the bait, we may as well have.
He'd kill us. You don't know these people. They never leave witnesses.
Please just listen to me, Ned. And we owe something to Joanne, you and me. She's lying dead on a slab of marble because I couldn't protect her. And both Joanne and Lana are dead because they were looking for a friend that they trusted. A friend that was using them for cover. And no television job in the world is going to change that.
I don't think you people have the sense God gave a goose. You had their heads in a vice and you let them slip. Not smart, gentlemen. Not smart at all. Philip Calder. Who? I'm listening.
I want $100,000 in cash. Pier 12 warehouse, midnight. Play straight and you get the photos instead of the morning papers.
Blackmail? I thought this was some kind of self-righteous crusade.
I finally realized it doesn't pay as well.
The negatives, too?
Yes, but I want that money personally delivered by you.
All right. But, Miss Jordan, we'd both better be playing this straight.
Heard you call for a couple of Dobermans, Clyde. They'd feel right at home with these other watchdogs.
Oh, now, believe me, these guys have better things to do. I'm sorry, Roy. Captain's orders.
Where was this guy when they passed out to Southern Charm on a coffee break? Roy Houston.
Uncle Roy, it's Matt.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Look, are you alone?
I'm with Clyde and a couple of officers.
Tell Clyde to get rid of the others.
Clyde, how about putting out a couple of dogs?
All right. Thank you. Come on.
Clear.
All right, here's the scoop. I'm with Neda Olmeyer. We're getting ready to hook the big fish in the Delta Tribunal.
What are you talking about?
Now, some embarrassing snapshots. Some people who would like to buy them. Now, we're going to meet them at the docks at midnight. Neda's going to bring the cake, and I'm going to jump out.
That's for the girl. They're meeting the tribunal at midnight. You need a backup. And this captain has got me in quarantine.
Yeah. Matlock, look, if you've got a line on the tribunal, you better let us handle it.
Clyde, I believe you've got a leak in your department.
Oh, I've been hearing that for months. It's hogwash.
Maybe so. But to make sure, I've got to fly this one solo.
Son, you realize you're sticking me between a rock and a hard place just telling me this, don't you?
All I need is 6 hours.
Well, how many more times do you expect me to go deaf?
1. I want them real bad, Clyde.
What did you say? I can't hear you.
I trust you came alone, Miss Olmeyer. Or was it Jordan?
Olmeyer.
You brought the pictures? And the negatives? Let me see them.
You first.
The game's over, little girl. You lose.
Are you gonna kill me like you killed Lana and Joanne?
Count on it. Right after you meet the rest of the tribunal.
I'd like to meet that bunch myself, Calder. Trust you'll make the introductions. Step over this way.
You double-crossed us.
Nice going, Matlock. Cuff him.
I should have known you wouldn't have missed a party like this any more than Uncle Roy.
The world is full of surprises, Mr. Houston. Welcome to the Delta Tribunal.
Matlock call?
No. Drop was an hour ago. There's something wrong. I should have been there.
I would have been there if Matlock hadn't been so all-fired convinced there's a spy in the department.
Did you check the docks?
Some. There's miles of waterfront, Roy. If he had just said where.
Clyde, you gotta get me out of here.
I do, and the captain's got my backside on a plank. I'm 5 months from retirement, Roy.
It's my nephew out there.
That's all I can do, Roy. Where's the Napoleon? I could use one.
Clyde, what if I call the captain and try to pull that old act about being a friend of the federal judge?
A, he's home asleep. B, it's 100-to-1 shot.
Well, those are the best odds I've had yet. You have his number?
Address book's in my jacket. I'll make one more sweep of the docks on my way to the station. Don't worry. When did I ever let you down?
Follow that car.
I've been waiting 20 years for someone to say that.
Ronald T. Cates, 36. Professor of Sociology at City College. Known to advocate communal living and marital experimentation. Chairman of the First Amendment Committee. Civil rights activist. With a history of intervention in felony prosecutions. How do you rule?
Execute. Execute.
tribunal has spoken. Ronald T. Cates, execution. And now, one final verdict. The tribunal has asked for a summary judgment on the lives of Netta J. Ohlmeyer, alias Bess Jordan, and Matt Houston. How do you rule?
Execute. Phil, you're taking this too far. Negotiate with him.
Too much risk. Execute.
You people are not just killing criminals anymore, you're killing citizens.
Shut up. The verdict is...
What's going on here?
A trial. What does it look like?
But these people committed no crime.
Blackmail, assault?
Calder, you don't kill people for that.
They know too much.
Well, if we just explain to them why we've done what we've done.
You're outvoted, Clyde. Execute. Do it in the garden, Morris.
You hate the garden, you. Too many mosquitoes.
Well, I hate your manners, but I love your timing.
What do you think you're doing?
Putting a box around the Delta Triangle.
Better refigure, old man. Kill them all.
Now, wait a minute. What about the vote? What kind of a tribunal is this, Calder?
He's right, Calder. You can't take the law into your own hands.
What do you think you've been doing all this time, Clyde?
The vote won't change, Clyde.
I'm sorry, Roy.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to Lou Hart and Billy and all the other friends we buried. They got worn down, too, when it seemed like the rules favor the bad guys, but they never broke those rules. They died for them.
I'm sorry about those men, Roy. But I think they'd understand what I have to do now. Just like the old days, huh?
Almost.
What you lost in, Uncle Roy?
Old friends. I was thinking about how they changed in the years that get away.
I always thought that the best part of old friends was that they bring out the best in one another.
Clyde's got a tough fight ahead of him, Matlock.
You got him the best lawyer in the city. He knows you care.
Yeah, I care.
So what you doing tonight?
Oh, I thought I'd just stay in. What are you going to do?
I'm going to the theater. Got the Rivington's tickets. Why don't you join us?
Maud Rivington? I think I'll just find a book.
Are you sure? I mean, we've got extra seats.
You may need two just for Maud.
Actually, Maud's not going.
No?
No, see, I'm taking her niece and a girlfriend. They're just in from Dallas. Short time. Just long enough to apply to one of our modeling schools. But if you would prefer to be alone,
Then again, misery loves company.